Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. I'm just currently drinking on some water here because hydration is important. And I do have my cup mug out here. And you can get your cup mug at LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug, period. And I am here to talk all about our eliminated guest from Destination X. And yeah, he's back. I just feel like I just talked to him. And I'm sad that he's back. But Shayne is back and we're gonna be talking to Shayne and talking about their journey and now their elimination, unfortunately. But before we jump into that, y'all know what to do. Please subscribe to this channel. We are on a mission to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year, and we need your help. So if you enjoy the interviews and enjoy all the content that we put out, because we're trying to put out as much content as we can to continue to keep you up to date with all the things that's going on in competitive reality television, please do us a favor and hit that subscribe button right down there. Click that link, subscribe to this channel, and then while you're doing that, if you can go to the links to all of our channels across all of the networks to subscribe because they are also on a mission to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. So go check out our main channel at the Cup Pod if you're a fan of drag or drag race. We got Drag Kings going on over there. We got Drag Race Brazil and Drag Race France All Stars. Also, if you are a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, At the Cup ESC is the place for you. And if you're a fan of WWE Wrestling, At the Cup Ringside is the place for you. We're getting ready we're gearing up for SummerSlam. So our 2 night event of SummerSlam is happening very soon. So we're gearing up for that. So if you're a fan of any of those things, click subscribe on all of those channels and support us. If you need to check us out on the go, our audio podcast links are also in that description below. So click on that. Join our Patreon so you can get exclusive content, things that will never come out on the channel, and early access to things that will come out on the channel much later. So check out our Patreon. Also, follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And you can follow me if you like. Instagram is right there, and all the rest is down there. So check out all of the socials. Follow us, interact with us, do all those things. We appreciate it so very much. Now, enough about me. I know you're not here to hear me gab and gab on. You're here to hear what Shayne has to say. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk all things Shayne. So let's take it away, Shayne. We are here with Shayne. I feel like I just saw you.
Oh yeah, I just watched. I just watched the podcast too.
Wow.
2 days ago. Yep, screen recorded. I'm ready to get kind of my social strategy together with the interviews and yeah, post away.
Period. We got to start off with just like now. Last time I talked to you, you weren't eliminated. So now, how was it watching it? Now that you're watching the elimination episode, how did that feel?
I mean, it's just being there, kind of like known. It did bring up some feelings, during. But I things worked the way that they did, and I'm happy with it. It sucks for sure not to be in the finale, but if it were just me, Peter, and Rick,
Yeah.
like I'd feel bad just because like Biggie, we had an agreement. There was any way that I could sacrifice myself for him in the future if he gave me all the answers, then I would do that, and not really having that ability.
Mm-hmm.
It would have made me feel some type of way knowing that my man who had maybe the most knowledge,
Yeah.
on the bus, ended up going home over something so luck based.
Yeah.
And
I get that. I get that. So coming into the game on day one, what strategies did you have? Like, Like, well, that last time you told me you really didn't. You was just going on social vibes and.
And it was once I found out how much everybody knew and how much
Mm-hmm.
prep time people had, it was like, all right, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to pivot because this
Right.
the knowledge base ain't gonna work, you know.
That makes sense. That makes sense. But with the last episode, and you all are in Venice, you left Venice, well, it stopped in Venice for a game of backstabbing. Now, this was told to you. Did you have any initial thoughts on how you would approach the game when you knew that was going to be what it was based on? Like it was going to be backstabbing. You're going to have to backstab people in this round.
Yeah, so we didn't, Jeffrey didn't fill us in on too much. We just, kind of try to piece together what we thought the game would be
Mm-hmm.
with the daggers that we had and the clues or the statements that Jeffrey had made. Just trying to piece it together. So we had a little bit of time to kind of chat about the potentials, and if this is the case, then do this, and if this the case, then do this. I think the biggest thing that we didn't account for is the person at the with the least, if there was a tie, being able to choose who to save.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if we were able to talk about that, I think the strategy of sending multiple of us in there to try to eliminate the other person would have
Right.
gotten talked about instead of just like, well, one of us is going to have to go in. And
Right.
that's, with the, I don't know if you want to roll into the whole Biggie giving me a dagger
Oh, absolutely.
situation.
Look, that's my next question.
Okay, yeah. So that was all part of the strategy.
Okay.
We did know that you could not give yourself a dagger. So
Mm.
at that point, it was like, if they're both Peter and Rick go and they're trying to, gang up on Allie or in any situation, I wouldn't be able to then adjust potentially. So if Rick didn't give me two,
Mm-hmm.
then I only would have had one from Biggie, and then
Right.
maybe I would have been making that choice. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So there was just so many different things that making that having that person select who to save. If I'd have known that, I would have probably assumed Biggie's going to get the least amount. He'll end up choosing me. So let's try to, hey, don't do that.
Right.
Do this instead. You know what I'm saying? If that ends up being the case, but yeah, him giving me a dagger just to even out the playing field because I was unsure. Obviously, we didn't know what order people were going to go in. So I I was curious to see who gave Biggie his two. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was Peter. Like,
Wow. But okay, but as Biggie did save you, he saved you and sent Allie into the Garden of Lost Souls. It ended with Allie being sent out. Did you have any regrets and potentially wanting to go down there yourself instead of sending her
yes.
down there?
So that was kind of the goal, except I didn't know that Biggie was going to be the one to make a selection at the end.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was just like, all right, cool. We're going to even this out. Rick definitely going.
Right.
But outside of us, maybe there's another challenge, or maybe there's something else that we got to guess at this point, or maybe something else to potentially off shift it, just because Allie had gotten two, and then no, she had gotten three, and I'm thinking, all right, if I have three, Peter has three, Allie has three, something else is going to happen, not the vote.
Right.
But hindsight looking at it, and this is probably how I'll look at every single game from now on,
Mm-hmm.
is if there's three of y'all, two of y'all go in there.
Mm.
You want to get that one person out? Like, because now I'm sitting here thinking, like, I wish Peter would have, or I wish Biggie would have saved Peter.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So then it would have been like, all right, bet, yeah, we about to go in here, knock Rick out. But we didn't know what the game was.
Right.
So even the whole like, okay, you have to choose next, or who, if you guess it right, you choose the next person. And we didn't know any of that. So definitely hard to strategize once things are out of your hands. Another way I could have done it was just gave everybody the exact same amount of daggers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? but then there's potential that it would have been Rick, Peter, and Biggie.
Right.
So it's kind of, it was tough situation being in, going last, especially.
Right. So losing Allie in that prior round, how much did it affect your game going forward?
I don't think it affected too much. Biggie was really like my lifeline. There was locations where Allie was safe, like for Salzburg. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's safe. Biggie's still looking out. You know what I'm saying? But there's situations where I got, or we had chatted, and there was a situation where I kind of was worse for it than anything. But it was the same thing. She's saying that we're here, but are we really?
Right.
And it's not that she was lying to me, because it just kind of came out that, oh, maybe that's not where we're at. But Biggie somehow, some way knew every single time, so my gameplay didn't change up too much. Me and Biggie, well, our whole alliance had already had the agreement that once we get to a certain point and it seems like we need to all separate, we're all agreed that that's what we're going to do, so that was all. It was my time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So this round, with this last round that you played, the clues were very like non-existent almost. It was very minute clues, and I said it on my podcast. I figured it out once I saw your clue of the artichokes, and it's like. Because like for this whole entire season, I've never been able to figure out these clues. Nothing. Like I have to wait till it's over and I'm like, makes sense. But this was the one time I was like, okay, artichokes. What is that? The artichokes? Hearts. Artichoke hearts. Okay. That gotta be something. And then I saw Biggie's clue of the golf balls. And I was like, golf balls, golf course, golf club, country club, and it was like club kept coming. So I'm like clubs, hearts. Then I was like, okay, wait a minute, Lana, you take me here. The rings, hearts, diamonds. Now I still didn't get the spades. I didn't understand why the shovel and the sand was spades, but I'm guessing the shovel looked like a spade.
No, the shovel. So that's what a small shovel is called, is a spade.
A spade. See, I did not know that. But I was like, okay, but context clues. I was like hearts, clubs, diamonds.
And that was one of the hardest ones, in my opinion. Yeah. And see, even if I would have guessed that, I wouldn't have guessed Monaco for their casino. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel that if the way that my mind works, if I would have had Rick's clue, I potentially would have figured out at least like, oh, they're cards. What does that have to do with it? Right. It would have been, you say it enough.
You're right.
And like you just did, and it's like, oh, it'll start clicking.
Yeah. But that was the one thing. But with the clues being so sparse, what led you to go to Milan? Put your ex in Milan.
So a big part of that was me feeling like I obviously wanted to win. I was fighting to win, but just due to the setup of of how things happened, like I was never going to get to the point where I'm like throwing Biggie under the bus to try to win. And, I would push them, Peter and Rick, to, to be out if possible. But yeah, it was just, I owed him too much. And I'm just that kind of guy. Like if I go into it and I'm saying, hey, don't trust me.
Right.
And then move how I want to move, then okay. And that is it's a strategy. But yeah, I mean, I just wasn't really too worried. I looked for mountains, saw my first mountain range, and was just like, I bet. There we go. Right.
So is that why you chose to move Biggie back to his original spot when you had the chance? Because I was like, no, Shayne, don't do that. Like you knew where you placed yours, and you knew exactly that you were wrong when the goggles came back on. You knew right away, like, okay, I'm very much inland, and we are on the coast. So I'm very much.
And I said Nice.
Yeah.
As soon as we took the goggles off, I was like, oh, bro, we're in Nice.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, because I know if you show me a picture, I'm pretty sure I know where that's at. Like, I talk to a girl from there. And yeah, she showed me pictures, and I'm like, oh my God, I know where this is at.
Right. And you were like, I know I'm not right. But you did when you got that car to switch somebody back to their original post.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because you just said, because you owe Biggie, you felt like you owe Biggie and you weren't going to throw him under the bus, putting him back in his original spot, even though you didn't know where that was, you knew it wasn't Milan, and you knew that you weren't,
Yeah.
So why was just your loyalty to Biggie the reason why you decided to give him that chance?
Well, that and I didn't want to. I wanted to take away my ex completely. The even potential, because when I tell you, it was just like aiming for people. Like, nah, somebody gonna end up with this ex all the way out here. And I was just like, you know what? Let's just clear it. And now we're all close. We don't really know exactly where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 50 miles closer that Rick got, like that was, we didn't know that now he's on the mark. You know what I'm saying? So, to just clear out everybody, kind of have a little like, all right, well, who is the closest? Now, all of a sudden, in knowing Rick, like there's potential for him to flip on Peter.
Right.
Which he did. You know what I'm saying? So it was just one of those things that I could kill a few birds with one stone. I can still be loyal to Biggie. I can get myself out of this Milan guess. You know what I'm saying? And then I could try to, kind of cause some commotion with Peter and Rick.
Right. Well, I guess that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Did you at some point figure out, before you got eliminated, when did you figure out the Rick and Peter alliance? When was your, I know this is something.
First, second challenge, they was there. Yes. I had been warning Biggie about it, and he kept telling me, no, it's cool. I know, trust me. This is, I think, probably one of the worst topics for Biggie. Like, just because he feels so crazy watching it back, like literally pillow talking you and then lying to
his face
the whole way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I know they talked about if Rick and Peter were talking and exchanging information, and I know, because I didn't talk to Rick like that because I just didn't trust him, and he had gotten in Biggie's ear enough to where it was, that trust was there. Why? I don't know. How? I don't know. But because Biggie was my lifeline, there was only so much I was about to press him being cool with Rick.
Absolutely.
Because it started affecting our relationship. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I felt there was a point where Biggie started kind of distancing himself from me, but in being around Rick and Peter more. And yeah, he can see it now.
Yeah.
That was his downfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking back at this whole season, do you think you would have played differently if given a chance, and how would you have done it?
Everything outside of the game being null and void. I probably would have pushed Biggie a little bit more into looking into Peter and Rick's relationship, instead of just saying, you know what, you got it. I don't want to beef. I don't want to do all that. Like, you're still my lifeline. We still are making moves, but I don't want to rock the boat. I would have rocked the hell out of that boat. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, especially after, I didn't know the conversation him, Janae, and Peter had.
Right.
Well, for Janae to be like, oh, if I trust anybody, it's Rick, and then y'all choose 3 different countries.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd have looked at him like, bruh, come on now. They were supposed to be in an alliance.
Right. He did that to them.
Bro, he ain't got no love for you. He got a whole family, bro, that he trying to earn his money for.
Absolutely.
And yeah, but I would have pressed the issue a little bit more.
Okay.
For sure.
I see that. Well then, Shayne, I know my time is up with you, and I appreciate
It's
you.
20 minutes already.
It's
Wow.
been 20 minutes already. I know.
Flying.
Feel like I have more time. I wish I had more time, but that's okay. That's okay. We will talk again soon, I hope. Because
Definitely. I hope so too.
I hope you're gonna be on another show. I keep saying you need to be on another show. I feel like you got more to show the world than what we saw in Destination X. So I hope to see you on another show. But we appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Oh, no, it's my pleasure. Likewise. I'm glad you take the time to have me on.
Absolutely. And that was our interview with Shayne. I honestly feel like he needs to be on TV. I feel like he definitely has more to show. And we didn't get to see his full potential on Destination X. And so I would love to see him back on another show. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me, because you should agree with me. But we want to thank Shayne so much for taking the time to talk to us once again. We really, truly appreciate him. And we appreciate them for just being so open and honest and willing to talk. Follow us, follow Shayne. All his socials will be on the description below. Follow us, do all the things. Support this channel, subscribe to this channel and all of our channels and our audio podcast links. Join our Patreon. Do all the things that say you support us, and we truly, truly appreciate the support. And we will continue to give out as much good content as we possibly can. So thank you so much for your love, your support, and don't forget to get your cup mug at lanagcreations.etsy.com. And we're going to get out of here. So I'm going to go make more content. You just click on another video. Okay? Cheers, y'all. Bye.